Welcome again folks to my classic camera collection. Continuing with the Leicas. I don't have many because I don't get free Leicas unlike my others. This is the 1965 Leica M2 model. This is the bayonet fitting as opposed to the screw thread I showed you earlier, my 1934. We take off the lens cover here, or the camera cover, and you can see there's no mirror, of course, because it is a rangefinder camera. The rangefinder cam is here, and that presses onto the rear rim of the lens and goes in and out as you turn the lens and focuses the rangefinder. This is a 1966 35mm f1.4 Canadian made Summilux lens. Now they say Leica lenses are wonderful, but really this 35mm 1.4, it's not very sharp at 1.4. I've done some pictures with it. It's very soft. The aspheric one is much better, but it's 4 times the price. It's okay when it's stopped down at 2.8 or so, but that is a 35 1966 Canadian lights. We can see on the camera the viewfinder windows. It's got 3 little windows, here, here and here. This is the rangefinder window. That is the actual viewfinder. This one, it shows a view of different focal length lenses when you push this little control here. When you look through the viewfinder, you can see some little lines coming up in the back. I don't think I should be able to show you because the camera doesn't focus closely enough. No, it won't show you the lines, but there's some little frame lines for different focal length lenses. 135, I think there's 90, and there's a 35 frame line as well. It's got flash synchronization, which is on the rear here. It's dreadful because the Leica Corporation have their own fitting. That is for that's for flash bulbs. There's a picture of a flash bulb. The lightning one is for electronic flash. I've had to get an adapter to use my flashes with it, and they're like hen's teeth, these little adapters, and you can't use a standard flash until you get one of these adapters. It's really poor. On the top, unlike the screw thread Leicas, it's a wind on with a lever system, like that. You must wind on, and with this one you can set the shutter speed any time. Now that's against the little black, very faint black line here. You've got to have good eyesight when you use a Leica. If your eyesight is poor, you can't see how to use it. Tiny little black line there. That's on 1/30th of a second. The little red line is for 1/50th of a second, and that is the maximum flash synchronizing speed that you can use with your Leica. Here's the lens aperture settings. It's on 5.6 at the moment. There it is on 1.4. You turn it there. You focus by holding this device here. It turns the lens and focuses the lens, and then you look through the coincident image rangefinder here to get your 2 images coincident as usual. Now the loading of this Leica is similarly difficult to the model M2 from 1934. This one has a back loading here. Let's turn it around this way. You have to take the spool out, as I showed you previously, and you attach the film onto the spool here, and then you push it in, and if you're lucky you can get your cassette in there, close it up, and then you're off. But doing it under fire from a war zone, it's not very easy at all. I'm afraid these Leicas are not meant to be used in a hurry. I've got some pictures I've taken with it actually. I'll try and show you some now. Here's a street scene I printed from FP4 Plus film taken on the London Leica meet in April 2014 with the 35mm 1.4 Summilux, but it's stopped down a bit. That's quite good for street photography. This is one more taken with the 35 1.4 Summilux on the London Leica meet. The sharpness of the brickwork is quite good on this. I think I used an aperture of f4 here, 1,000th of a second. When you don't have a great deal of depth of field needed, you don't need a small aperture. It's all in sharp focus anyway. Here's two taken in colour on out-of-date Kodak high definition film in Barcelona, Spain. Now this bottom one is at 1.4 inside the Gothic cathedral, and you can see there's some aberrations here. There's light spread and there's some coma on the out of focus plants here where the depth of field doesn't cover. It's not terrifically sharp. The sharpness isn't bad in the centre here. This top one is stopped down to f2.8 and the sharpness is very good. You can read all the lettering. I've done a big print of that one. Here's a couple taken in Las Ramblas, Barcelona, on Kodak high definition film, out of date, and this is done with a 90mm f4 Elmar from 1957. This is it. I got that for 75 quid from a camera club member. That's very sharp. It is usable at f4 and stopped down at 5.6. It's critically sharp. This one on the right, I've done a 16x12 RA4 darkroom print of that and got a first award at my camera club.